How to Leave Hialeah, 2009, a collection of short stories by American author Jennine Capó Crucet, draws heavily on her experiences living in Cuba and Hialeah, a vibrant city in Miami-Dade County, Florida. The stories center on characters who face marginalization or identity erasure as minorities in a tropical American state fixated on assigning value based on varying degrees of whiteness. Comprising 11 stories in total, the collection paints a vivid, empathetic, and at times both humorous and melancholic portrait of race and immigration issues in the southeastern United States. The opening story, Resurrection, or the story behind the failure of the 2003 Radio Salsa 98.1 semi-annual Cuban and/or Puerto Rican Heritage Festival, mocks the Americanization of cultural institutions that claim to represent minority groups fully through its humorously verbose title. It follows Yesenia, a Cuban-American woman coming down from a drug-fueled rave night who attends church, thirstily drinking from a bowl of holy water before a nun. Yesenia devises a bizarre scheme to resurrect her Cuban godmother, Celia Cruz, to salvage her struggling internship at a local radio station. The titular story, How to Leave Hialeah, centers on a girl whose mother wishes to downplay their Cuban roots. While the daughter embraces her Cuban-American identity in Miami, her mother warns that owning it invites trouble, suggesting, half-jokingly, that she straighten her hair and stop speaking to appear whiter. The daughter ultimately rejects her mother's views and decides to celebrate her heritage. In the Morning Work, Crucet's sole story set in Cuba, a young woman takes a job reading to cigar factory workers as they roll cigars by hand, yearning to leave the island, yet feeling trapped economically and socially. The Next Move follows Luis, an elderly man who refuses to accompany his wife on a trip to Cuba while its people remain unfree. After her death, he deeply regrets his stubbornness, mourning a life spent denying the real Cuba in favor of an imagined one. He denies his wife's dying wish to be buried in Cuba, instead laying her to rest in a shared plot in Miami. Men Who Punched Me in the Face tells the story of Sandra Ortiz, who reflects on an abusive ex-husband named Victor, a Cuban. The story probes the roots of domestic violence and explores how marriage and immigration stories intersect. Ortiz ultimately learns to navigate between American and Cuban moral frameworks to build her own ethical sense. Despite its title, How to Leave Hialeah neither outright rejects American or Floridian identity, nor fully embraces it. Crucet offers a nuanced exploration of the complex desires and loyalties of Cubans, Americans, and Puerto Ricans as they grapple with self-understanding in an increasingly globalized world. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy this video, leave a like and subscribe.